Once the application is installed and connected with our data, let's see what information is displayed. First of all, we find the main page, from where we access to the main parts of the report. This page describes the application. Teams Power is a report that represents the usage of Microsoft 365. This report discusses which tools, how, and how much the applications are being used within your organization. To access the dashboard, navigate from the Homepage button or from the site navigation. The dashboard displays a summary of the measured indicators throughout the report. These indicators are shown in red, yellow, or green depending on the maturity level previously selected when the application was installed and we select the scenario for our organization. To go into the detail of each of them, we must select the specific area. Digital adoption. We will have the detailed analysis of which applications are being used. Digital intensity represents the detail of how much Microsoft 365 applications are being used. And digital maturity describes the detailed indicators of how these applications are being leveraged. On the digital adoption page, at the top, we find the indicators for each application. These are Yammer, Teams, Exchange, SharePoint, and OneDrive. These indicators represent the activity of such active users in the application relative to the total licensed users in our organization. For instance, for November and with Yammer, the number 61 represents the percentage of the total licensed users of Yammer, 152 users, and are in use 108 users. The signal appears in green because it exceeds the maximum threshold type for this scenario. At the bottom of this page, we find the temporal evolution relative to each of the key indicators, being able to filter the information of these charts depending on the application. On the digital intensity page, at the top, we will find the indicators about how much the organization uses the applications of Microsoft 365. For instance, in the case of Teams, we find that in November, the value is 77%. This means that 77% of users licensed for Teams are using these applications during this month. It still appears in green because it exceeds the maximum threshold type for this scenario. At the bottom of this page, these KPIs are represented through the temporal evolution, and we can filter with application. By last, we have the digital maturity page, where are represented the key performance indicators for digital transformation. To understand the context, these indicators are based on an objective threshold. In this case, key actions of digital transformation are evaluated. For instance, the first indicator corresponds to collaborative messaging. It means how many instant messages are sent in the organization versus the number of emails sent. Another example could be the Teams mobility. This indicator represents the use of the Teams app on the smartphones. For instance, in November, it was 36%. It is below the maximum threshold, so the signal is represented in yellow. At the bottom, you will find the temporal evolution of this indicator. Thanks to this report, you can know the real situation of your organization in terms of digital transformation, so you are able to get decisions to improve the business processes and the daily work.